Have you ever been told you ask too many questions? Let me tell you a story about a young boy named Ravi who turned his curiosity into his greatest strength. In a small, quiet village school, there was a boy named Ravi. Ravi was special, not because he was the smartest or the fastest, but because he was the most curious. Every single day, without fail, his hand would shoot up in the air. Why is the sky blue? How do birds fly? What makes the river flow? His questions were endless. Sometimes he genuinely wanted to understand a difficult math problem. Other times he just wanted to know, well, asterisk why? Asterisk his classmates didn't quite get it. They would often giggle and whisper, Ravi, you ask too many questions. Just listen to the teacher. Sometimes their teasing stung a little. Ravi would lower his hand, feeling a bit embarrassed. But his teacher, Mrs. Meera, was different. She never once showed a hint of annoyance. Instead, whenever Ravi's hand went up, a warm smile would spread across her face. Ravi, she would say, her voice calm and encouraging, questions are the seeds of knowledge. The more you plant, the more your mind will grow. Her words were like a gentle rain on his little seeds of curiosity, helping them sprout. One sunny afternoon, Mrs. Meera posed a question to the entire class. Can anyone tell me, she asked, looking around the room, why do stars shine? A deep silence fell over the classroom. The other children looked down at their desks, hoping not to be called upon. But not Ravi. His hand shot up as usual. He didn't know the full scientific answer. He hadn't read it in a book yet, but he had his own ideas. Maybe, he began hesitantly. They are like tiny lamps hanging in the sky. The class chuckled, but Mrs. Meera just nodded thoughtfully, encouraging him to continue. That evening, Ravi couldn't get the question out of his head. He went home, pulled an old, dusty science book from his father's shelf, and sat under a lamp. He read page after page, his eyes wide with wonder, completely lost in the world of astronomy, gases, and fusion. He read until he finally found the answer. It was more amazing than he could have ever imagined. The next morning, Ravi walked into class with a new sense of purpose. When Mrs. Meera asked if anyone had thought more about the stars, Ravi stood up tall. He wasn't hesitant this time. With newfound confidence, he clearly explained how stars are giant balls of hot gas and how nuclear fusion in their cores creates light and heat, making them shine across the vastness of space. The classroom was silent again, but this time, it was a silence of awe. His classmates looked at him with a new respect. Mrs. Meera's eyes sparkled with pride. She smiled her kindest smile and said to the class, see, that is the power of curiosity. It doesn't just ask a question, it drives you to find the answer. Years passed. The little boy with endless questions grew up. He never stopped asking why, and that relentless curiosity led him down a remarkable path. Dr. Ravi, the renowned scientist, stood on stages around the world, celebrated for his groundbreaking discoveries that changed how we see the universe. But whenever he visited a school, speaking to a new generation of curious minds, he always shared the same simple message. He would look out at the sea of young faces and say, my entire journey, all my success. It didn't start in a fancy laboratory. It started in a small village classroom with a wonderful teacher who made me feel safe and told me it's always okay to ask questions. So, never let anyone dim your curiosity. Ask questions, seek answers. Keep learning, because you never know where your questions might lead you. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content that sparks your curiosity. See you next time.